Hi, my name's Alex Martin, and today I'm going to be taking you through the engagement process for a client storage assessment. The process can be split into three areas: registration, where you register an engagement with us; data collection, where you collect some data; and return, where you return the data to us and answer any closing questions. I'm going to walk through this process step by step. However, feel free to use any of the time links provided to jump ahead to the section that's relevant to you. There's also links in the description for any of the resources used. First, logging into the system. If you're an IBMer, you can log in using your intranet ID. If you're a business partner of ours, you can log in using your IBM ID. When moving through to the homepage, it's split into three areas: the useful links section, which contains links to all the materials regarding client storage assessments; the recent activity section, which will detail any activity you've been working on recently; and the engagement section, where you can download our quick start guide, which is a documented version of this video; and the initiate, which is the first action you'll be taking when starting a new engagement. Initially, you need to fill in some high-level details about the engagement, which are mostly self-explanatory. However, you need to make sure you select from the correct engagement type, which would be primary for the assessment of storage arrays, secondary for backup, and then health for Spectrum Protect. A quick note here: if you're unable to fill in any of the fields, put something temporary in and get in touch. If you're wondering what a primary, secondary, or health assessment are, then please follow the links to the videos in the description. Data collections for client storage assessment are done using a Windows wizard that will issue native CLI commands to collect metadata from the storage array or backup software in question. You have two choices when it comes to doing data collection. You can either do it yourself, or you can delegate that task to a customer. If you're going to do the data collection yourself, you can download a copy of the collector from the homepage of the self-service portal. On the right-hand side, there is the data collection toolkit, which you can download the zip file, which contains the documentation and data collector itself. I'll be going over a step-by-step guide to the data collector later on in this video. From your customer's file area, you can upload files privately to be shared amongst either the partner or IBM. You can upload files to the public area, where the customer can download and upload things into this space. And you can also register a client for access to the portal. When registering a customer to work with the self-service portal, you have a choice to add them for the first time or search for them if you've worked with them before. When creating them, you need to fill in their email address used that matches their IBM ID. They will receive an email with login instructions telling them how to either register for an IBM ID or log in if they've already got one. When a customer logs into the self-service portal, they're presented with a cut-down version that you can see here, allowing them to upload and download files from the file area, as well as a single button that allows them to download the data collection toolkit. A few words on data collection before we get started. If you are collecting against something Windows-based, you can move the collector directly onto that server before running it. If you are collecting against something Unix-based, then you need to find a Windows machine with network line of sight, where the Windows collector will SSH onto the device and issue commands. If for some reason you don't have a Windows machine available, or you have to access the environment via jump servers, then feel free to get in touch and we'll arrange for a separate method of collection. When it comes to data collection, you can find the data collector within the data collection toolkit as discussed earlier. Inside of here, you can find the executable file, which will open the Windows wizard. The wizard has been designed to be as simple as possible, requiring you to mostly just click next. You pass through a end user license agreement screen, a welcome screen, before selecting from a drop-down list what you would like to collect against. In my example, I'm going to be collecting against Spectrum Protect. However, the process is very similar for all the products. In my case, I'm going to be collecting against a Linux server, so I'll be selecting the Unix option. From here, I'll fill in the username and password as well as IP address of the server I'm going to collect against. And it's worth noting at this stage that I'm filling in the login details for SSH, not any local login details on the server itself for the application. The wizard will take you through any confirmation pages, as well as providing a number of variables that you may need to configure yourself, depending on the specific installation of your environment. In most cases, the defaults work. In all cases, it'll ask you to type in a customer name and a site name to go along with the collection for identification purposes and allowing us to match up the data collector to physically where something is geographically in the world. The collector will also ask where you would like to write the collection files to, allowing you to specify. This is relative to where the collector is running and not on the target server. After filling any details specific to you, it will then run through each of the commands one by one, writing them to the file space specified earlier. As the commands are collected, they are written into a zip file, and the successfulness or failure of the commands can be seen on screen as the collector issues them. When the collector completes, it will display whether it was a successful collection or not, though in any case, we'd ask you to return the collection to us so that we can help you debug any problems. Finally, you get the option to attach any additional files that you think would be relevant or useful to us in this process, and then it will display where on the server precisely the collection file is. This takes the form of a zip file, usually named along the lines of the customer, site, and server or IP address that you entered earlier. When it comes to returning data to us, you have a choice based on whether you selected to do the collection yourself or get the customer to do it. If the customer did the collection, they can log back into the self-service portal and upload it to the file area. If you've chosen to do it yourself, then you can log back into the self-service portal, select your customer and the file area, and upload the data collection files. Finally, we need to associate those collection files with where they are geographically in the world. You can navigate over to the sites page of the self-service portal, define any sites that you want to include within the assessment. Once the sites have been created, you can move over to the source environments part of the self-service portal. From here, you can create an entry for each of the data collection files and attach the file data that you have previously collected, either via the file area of the self-service portal or by uploading it locally from your computer. This allows us to tie each of those collection files to their geographic location. Depending on the type of assessment you're looking to get performed, you will need to fill in any of the additional tabs across the top. For example, the target design guidelines, where you can specify the type of target you'd like to see in the transformation report. We'd also advise you to contact us with any additional requirements or requests for analysis you have, as all requests are welcome. At this point, from the source environments page, you can mark Discovery Complete. This will send an automated email to the client storage assessment team, notifying us that the data collections are all completed and we can begin our assessment. And this completes the video on the client storage assessment engagement process. Thank you for watching.